Hey everybody, welcome back to NW Farms. Sorry it's kind of been a break in videos. Things been crazy. This is the week after Penfield, Illinois show. Honestly, didn't shoot much video there at all. There's a few clips of us in the tractor parade. Took some pictures and that kind of stuff, but I will say this much. If you want to see some really good videos of some of the tractors that were there, go check out Davis Farm and Orchard. Jerry was there. He filmed and got a pretty good bit of the tractors in film. He may have more. He's put out 2 videos already, but go give him a check out there and watch him. He comes to a lot of the shows and does a lot of filming. And so you'll see there's actually some clips of our tractors in there too. But go check his video out if you'd like to see any video of the Penfield show. But like I said, we just didn't take a whole lot of video. Kindly just took the time, took 4 days, just hung out. Best part is for whatever reason, we don't have cell signal at Penfield, Illinois. So it was nice for the phone not to ring, people not be able to get a hold of you. But we took that time and enjoyed it, had a good trip, had a safe trip. Looking forward to Rantoul. Rantoul will be August, I think they said the 26th through the 29th of 2027, which is the largest working antique tractor and engine show there is in the United States. It is definitely an experience if you've never been. Encouraged. If you love antique tractors and equipment, go to Rantoul sometime. Great experience. We look forward to it. This will be our 3rd year going to Rantoul. They're supposed to be doing a gathering of the 190 XTs for the Alice guys. John Deere guys haven't got it set in stone yet. I kind of got a little insider information while we were there, but I'm not going to reveal what they're thinking it's going to be until they set it in stone and it puts out. But let's just say it's going to be big. So we'll leave you alone with that. Let's get out here. We're back to the 4640. We're going to see if we can figure out why it's overheating, if it's a stuck thermostat, or what's going on with it. The last video you're going to see of it was me trying to crank it up after it quit running in the field because it went to blow and blow by out the blow by tube. But enough yakking, let's get to work. Okay, so the dash on the 4640 does not work. The funny thing is whenever we jumped this tractor off and rescued it in the rescuing video, the oil pressure gauge did work on the tractor. It has now since quit working. So I went on eBay and ordered, I hate when people put these on tractors because usually they can somewhat look tacky. But I've ordered us a set of gauges. This is a triple set of gauges. Need to tighten them up where they'll set still. Really, so you can mount them. But we have oil pressure on the left, voltmeter in the center, and water temp on the right. And I'm going to mount these in the cab of the tractor so that we can be able to monitor temperature and oil pressure even if the dash is not working. Later on down the road, I may decide to see if I can get this dash to work. If I do, then we'll change stuff up, these things a little differently. Probably just going to take self-tap and screw and just run up through these and hold them in there. But this is what we got. We've got our thermocouple that we got to find a port to put in, which we'll probably just put in where the original one's at and set it off to the side. So that's what we're doing. Let's get over here and get started. All right, so here's our oil pressure sensor. We're actually just going to unscrew this top and I'll screw in a fitting for our line. I'm going to try to come right up here behind the fuel filter housing. I think there's a grommet right here where this red wire runs through the firewall. That may be where we try to bring it and the thermocouple through. We're going to find some place to get through there. So let me yank this guy off and then we'll get it installed and then get the gauges put in. Okay, so I got my fitting that's the correct one for the engine block. This is a flare fitting, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick my hose in there and tighten it down, and then I'll put it in. Takes 10 millimeter on one side, 7/16 on the other. Alright, so you can see right down there we got that guy mounted. We're going to run this tractor without a hood on it for a little bit. What we may actually do is just take those gauges and kind of strap them up here on top of the air cleaner where I can see them from inside the cab. And that'll still give me the ability to monitor everything, but I won't have to worry about pulling that stuff through the firewall. Then if I see it's going to be more permanent run this way, then we may actually go in and mount them in the cab. But that may be what it is, mount them outside. They're not going to hurt anything. I don't care anything about the voltage gauge. I just want the pressure for the oil pressure and the coolant temperature, and it'll just be easier that way. So, all right, next thing I'm gonna do, the belts don't really seem loose, but I am gonna go ahead and try to tighten those guys up too, just to rule that out, make sure that they're not slipping. So let me grab me some other wrenches here and we'll go from there. I knew that was gonna happen. Good thing I got a hard head. Right there's the factory one. Guess we probably need to see if we can get it down in it. Alright, let me get me a wrench to take that out. Okay. Maybe you can see that down in there. All right, so that's got a thermostat gauge in there. Next thing we gotta do is connect up the oil hose to the actual gauge unit. And like I said, I may wind up just strapping these gauges out here somewhere underneath where the hood's gonna be at. And that way I can not have to worry about running them in the cab right now. And now if we see that we're gonna have to leave it this way, then at that time we'll run it in the cab. That made a mess with the coolant. Probably didn't lose that much coolant. I'm not gonna fool with topping it off right now. Let's put the oil gauge on and then we'll crank up. I'll turn you back on when we get ready to crank up. All right, so I got our gauges zip tied here. They're not very secure, but they're gonna do what I need them to do. This is for testing purposes. See again, there's our coolant one. I think it's still leaking, maybe not. So I'm gonna put you on tripod, we'll fire up. I'm gonna kick the mower on. I'm gonna turn the mower on to add a little load to this tractor, and we'll start checking and seeing, watching temperatures, see how fast it comes up. And then we'll actually, I'll get a temp gun out. After temp gun, I forgot to check the battery in it before I left for them. We'll check on the thermostats and see if they're opening and closing like they should. Maybe get lucky. Hopefully we get lucky. We don't have luck like that. All right, so let's try this again. So got an infrared temp gun. I'm gonna crank this tractor up, raise the mower up, and then we're gonna turn the mower on. So we'll load the tractor, and then we're gonna check and see what temperature it is around our thermostats and see if our thermostats are opening or closing. I suspect our thermostats are not opening because when I had it running earlier, even though I didn't have a temp gun, I did grab a hold of the upper radiator hose, and the upper radiator hose did not feel like it was full of coolant. It felt, it was squishy. You could close it versus it being rock hard. So let's crank the tractor up, try again. All right, so you got to see exactly what it done the other day in the field. Testing temperatures, upper radiator hose, it's like 115, thermostat housing's about 124. The back of the head is 160 degrees, and the lower radiator hose is about 110. I suspect thermostats are not opening. So I'm gonna go back to the house. I have no cell signal on this farm, enough to do any research. So go back to the house, figure out what temperature thermostats we need, get us some part numbers. Everybody's closed in town now. Call Napa tomorrow and see if Desiree can get us some thermostats. We'll put thermostats in it and see if that takes care of it. We may have already roasted it, or it may have already been roasted before. But either way, we'll give it a shot and see. So next video will be putting thermostats in a 4640. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for stopping, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. We'll see what happens in the next one.